You may notice, or perhaps as you relax deeper, you may begin to realize that all the conversations you've had in your life, they've been a part of a pattern, a beautiful, ever-evolving pattern. A pattern where what matters the most is not what you think you say, but how the other person receives it. It's like a dance, a back and forth exchange, where the response from the other person is your most important feedback. You know, as you tune in to their response, the conversation can shift, it can grow, it can expand, all based on your ability to adapt and listen to their reactions. So in a way, the way they respond and what they say, it's not only a reflection of them, but a reflection of you as well. You see, it's not about being right, not about being wrong. It's not about being perfect. You already know failure is just a stepping stone, an opportunity to learn and grow. There's no such thing as failure, it's only feedback. And from that feedback, you can make small adjustments, finding the words that resonate and reaching them more deeply. Isn't it amazing how this simple shift in perspective, it opens you up to infinite possibilities in communication? Yes, you can meet them where they are, with empathy, and lead them gently forward. If you've ever been in a situation where things weren't clicking, it was never because you were doing something wrong. It was simply a signal to adjust. And as you adjust, you naturally start to see how this shift can create more connection, more understanding, and more harmony in your conversations. And as the other person responds, you can notice their reactions, and you can choose to adapt your communications in such a way that you're fully heard. Imagine you're speaking to someone who might be resistant or unclear in their response. In that moment, you could recognize their confusion or misunderstanding, and you might find yourself saying, it's time for a little pattern interrupt. Perhaps you feel a lightness inside, knowing by shifting the energy, by changing your words or your tone, or even your posture, you can cause a subtle shift in their perception. This shift can bring them from a place of confusion to clarity. You might notice the way their body relaxes as they begin to understand the message that you're sharing. And you realize it's not about you being right, it's about them receiving it in a way that works for them. Now, as you relax, take a moment and think about how your communication has evolved in your life. When you notice their response, you don't judge it, you simply adjust. It's a dance. Sometimes it's a soft turn, other times it's a bold leap forward. Every time you adapt, every time you shift, you create a new layer of understanding between you and them. This is your ability to control the frame of the conversation. You don't need to know everything. You just need to feel it. Feel the rhythm. Feel the flow. Feel how the conversation unfolds, moment by moment. Adjusting as needed. And you can completely trust that this is all happening unconsciously, naturally, as you let go and allow yourself to be present in the moment. And even in those moments where you don't know how to shift, you know you will. You always have the ability to adjust, to adapt, to change how you present yourself. If they don't understand right away, you'll try again. If they resist, you'll adjust again, knowing they don't know what you know. You hold the responsibility of meeting them where they are and guiding them gently forward. That's your power. Now, as you think about this idea, you may realize something powerful. The meaning of your conversation is the response you get. It's not what you think you say, but the feedback you receive. When you understand this, you begin to see no response is ever wrong. No conversation has ever failed. Because there's always another chance, another opportunity to communicate with more clarity, more understanding, more connection. And this idea that you're the one responsible for guiding the conversation towards understanding, it becomes easier and easier for you to accept. You feel empowered by it. You feel the responsibility as a gift, because it means you can make a difference. You can help them understand. And you know how to adjust, how to break patterns that might otherwise cause resistance or confusion. In fact, the more you understand this principle, the easier it becomes to use it. You realise you're never stuck in any situation. Whether you're talking to one person or many, there are always ways to change things, to shift the energy and to adjust. And as you let that idea sink deeper, you begin to trust yourself even more. Trusting you can always change the way you communicate, change your words, your body language, and even your internal state to lead the conversation to a deeper connection. Now imagine you're speaking to someone who's resistant, or perhaps they don't quite understand your point. You notice it in their posture, in the way they look at you. Without even thinking about it, you begin to change your posture, change your tone, even change your words, to reframe things, to make it more accessible to them. And as you do this, you might even notice how they relax, how they soften, how the tension in their body begins to dissipate, and you smile to yourself, knowing this is your responsibility, your gift, to meet them where they are and lead them to understanding. You can feel your inner power growing and expanding. You see, there's no right or wrong way to communicate. The only thing that matters is they hear you. And when they don't, you simply shift again, knowing it's all part of the process. This is how the dance unfolds, how the patterns change, and how you keep moving forward, always adjusting, always adapting, always communicating in a way that truly resonates. Because you know deep down that communication, it isn't about being perfect. It's about meeting the other person where they are. When you do that, they open up, they relax, they feel heard, understood. They respond in kind. And this process continues as you adapt, evolve, and guide them effortlessly towards a deeper connection, a deeper understanding. This is your new way of being, your new way of communicating, fluid, adaptable, connected, present. And as you trust yourself more and more, you realise that every conversation is a new opportunity to learn, to grow, and to communicate with ease. You're always getting better, always evolving, always finding the patterns that work, and always getting the responses you desire. And so, as you continue to relax, you begin to realise that this shift in your communication is already happening right now. It's already a part of who you are. As you move forward in life, you can trust. You'll always meet them where they are. You'll guide them gently, skillfully, effortlessly, towards understanding. And so it is.